break up with his girlfriend? Because there are too many shingles in their relationship. Why are roofers so confident? Because they're always on top of things. That's all I got. My name is. My name is. There's an encore. My name is Jason Day. I'm with ProCraft Construction. The agenda for today, or for this presentation, is talk about some of my family, our team, some of the things I've done in my career, ProCraft specifically, and then final closing. This is my family. Well, most of the family. You'll see next slide, but this is my wife. We're a blended family. Our 3 daughters. My 2 oldest are with me from another relationship, and that's her from another relationship. And then the next slide is Bubba. He's our love baby, and he was born actually on my dad's birthday. My dad passed away in 2014, so he's very special to our family. His name is Brock Ryder Day. Yeah. This is our team. We had a company event at the Ranger game. Over here to the left is our Ashley. She's our office admin, our accountant. Oh my goodness.
We just run numbers. We don't know. We're all the numbers.
What's funny is we have a Dawn, man. We have a group text, and nobody knew her number except for me, and so I had to say, like, this is Dawn. It's like more than just a number. It's Dawn. Kevin, our project manager, that's his wife. And then Dominique, y'all met her, that's her husband, and then this is my wife. Some of my career, I actually started off, I didn't really go to college. I went to TCC for a little bit. I just knew I wanted to make money. And my dad was a business owner, so it's kind of what I aspired to. Back in 2012, I actually had the opportunity. My business mentor kind of took me under his wing, and when I was 22 years old, we started ProCraft, or privately roofing in construction. We had some early success. I actually bought him out in 2014. That was actually a successful acquisition. Paid him basically $40,000 for the rest of the company. And then found out very quickly that I didn't know what I didn't know. Later on in 2017, I actually bought another company from him, which is Jedi Services. I don't know, do y'all know, have you ever gotten calls from like a booster club from like a school or something like that? So Jedi Services, what that was, is we would actually sell the advertisements on the back of shirts to the local businesses. And hey, support your local team, get your name brand recognition on sports events, stuff like that. Well, that was kind of propped up on just one sales lady that's been doing it for 30 years. She eventually wanted to do something else, so that ended up just kind of closing out. And then Titanium Construction was rebranded Franco, and back in 2018, it was roofing and construction, and then in 2018, we actually rebranded and went after large restoration companies. So my background is insurance, everything insurance and construction. So what I did is I basically went to large like ATI, More USA, Surf Pro, some of the large restoration companies in Metroplex, and I offered myself as a project manager and as a sub. So basically what I did was I was help them with job site management as well as making sure that the job had enough money from the insurance company. So I would go in, they would have like a customer, I would go in, I would get the ESX file from them. That's a file for Xactimate. It's a estimating software that insurance companies use. Back, who remembers get 3 estimates? Back in the day, the insurance was like, always get 3 estimates. Well, they did away with that, and the insurance company got smart, and now they have their own software that does that for them, right? It's an estimating software that gets average numbers from the area for zip code, and then that's what they use to come up with auto claims or hail claims or whatever, right? Moving on, so back in when COVID hit, it just rocked my world. I had a lot of health issues. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have ulcerative colitis. So that affected me greatly when everything shut down. I had to step away, from my business. And I was actually in here last year, in January of last year, for a couple months. That's how I got introduced to the group. And I was actually working for another company. Well, those aren't important. those aren't important. So in 2025, it took me a while. It took about a couple weeks for me to pray, dwell, and really think about what I wanted to do and the next steps I wanted to take as I separated from the last company I was with. And I just had a lot of peace because I know the burden of being an owner, the responsibility of being an owner, because I'm very like 0 to 100. If I do something, then I'm going to put all my effort into it, and I'm not going to be just a one-man show. I'm going to add people and grow and do it the way that I think I can. So starting ProCraft. I struggled with that because I wanted to be, good and do a great job and have a company that people can, come and actually be a family and be a part of. So I didn't take that lightly. So some of the services we offer is full claim management. Anybody that has dealt with a real estate transaction that you have a buyer complaining about this, and this needs to be done, right? We offer critical grade real estate transaction service management. I have so many clients right now where I'll go. Actually, just had a call last night where an agent FaceTime me walking through this house and wants me to basically give an estimate for what could be done, so she can include that in the seller's disclosure to basically give proof of what the price of the house should be for one of the reasons for what it is. Situational, specific pricing and estimating, and then more than just roofs, remodel, restoration, and renovation. So as we do like a claim, so let's say Skip, his agency gives us a call and says, hey, we got a customer that, really is, says there's 100, roofers knocking on the door, right? So we're going to put that into our CRM. We're going to set up an inspection with that customer. We're going to go out. We're going to look at the roof. We're going to look at gutters. We're going to look at window screens, fencing, other structures. And we're going to make sure, one, that customer doesn't file a claim. Because in Texas, hail can be all different shapes and sizes. You can have big hail that doesn't fall, hard or fast enough that breaks apart when it hits, or you can have smaller hail that comes at 90 miles an hour and just damages everything else. So we do a full claim assessment, and then once we go through that process, we'll sit down with them. If we do need to file a claim, we'll do the adjuster, get all the paperwork, and then we'll do a closing. We'll sit down with the customer, explain all the paperwork to them, basically what their options are. So these are the different types of policies I just want to talk about real quickly. Recoverable cost value, RCV, that's basically insurance pays everything but your deductible, right? Those are unfortunately becoming premium policies. Like you almost have to pay extra for those now. Policies now, like Allstate and others, you have an actual cash value. Allstate doesn't have actual cash value; they have roof payment schedule, but you have certain insurance companies that after a certain amount of time, the policy actually activate into actual cash value. So as you can see here, a $10,000 claim. Let's say the roof is depreciated. Let's say it's 30-year-old roof, but you have 15 years of life used out of it. So they're going to depreciate that by 50%. If you have a $2,000 deductible, it's extremely low right now. The normal deductible, I think, is like $5,000. But your amount due to you as a customer is only $3,000 out of that $10,000. That means you could be on the hook for $7,000 of that money. And the roof payment schedule, it's based on age of the roof. So you have 1 year, 100%, after 5 years, 85% is the max total you have to get, 10 years is 70%, 15 years is 55, and 20 years is 40. So on a $10,000 claim, if you have a 15-year-old roof, $2,000 deductible, your max, you're going to get from the insurance is $25,000. It's not a lot. I've actually had helping with Kim right now on one of hers that they're trying to get on the market, and they have a $10,000 deductible, a $20,000 roof, and the roof is 20 years old and it's 20 years single. They're not getting anything from the insurance company, and they're paying monthly on these premiums, right? So I advise everybody in here to get with Skip, get with somebody that knows what they're doing and write a policy, because you may not be covered at all, on your own. So more than just roofs, renovation loans, remodels, and restoration. This is actually one we did in Hillsborough. It was $130,000 renovation loan. We did a lot of structurals in it. We got it floors throughout. And then, people over profit. This is Kathy Lou. She was actually our third roof we donated. Part of our thing, again, this is kind of like when I started the company, this is at the heart of what we do, people over profit. So we actually were able to put a roof on for her on this Tuesday. And it was great to be able to get her testimony. And, the house was given to her by her parents, but her parents had Medicare or Medicaid. Well, I don't know if you know, with Medicare, they put a lien on the property because they couldn't pay the bills. So now she has a property that has a $207,000 lien on it that the government's going to take and pass to it. So she wasn't able to get it, she didn't have insurance on the home, so that was part of why we, donated the roof to her.